Hi, my name is Jesse LeClaire. As you can see, I am a professional parkour athlete turned stunt man turned actor. And I am going to be opening up a parkour gym here in Wilmington. A little bit about me. I grew up with a dad who loved motorsports. He still is a drag racer. So we did anything and everything like snowmobiles, go-karts, dirt bikes. Even at the age of 3, I learned how to ride a dirt bike. I was old enough to hit the gas, old enough to balance, but not old enough to touch the ground. So when my sister jumped out in front of me to scare me, of course, I locked the brakes up and I still have a little scar to prove it. But with that mentality, I do truly believe that most people won't discover what they are truly capable of until they are challenged in the right environment. Like many of you that grew up here in Wilmington, I'm sure a lot of you skateboarded, surfed, rode bikes. My life was all about action sports. And so I loved it. I love that feeling of going fast and flying, but it wasn't until my first year of college that I discovered a sport called parkour. Now, parkour changed everything because it was no longer about what I did with the board and the bike. And it was much more about what I did with my own body and what I was capable of. If you're not familiar with what parkour is, it's very simple. It's all about overcoming obstacles, whether they are physical or mental, in the most efficient way. Some of you might know it from The Office. Parkour. Others might have seen the amazing parkour chase that is in the beginning of the Casino Royale movie. That chase alone really redefined the sport for a lot of people who didn't know what it was. They got to see what the human body was capable of when you push the limits and put a lot of practice into it. But as you go deeper into parkour, it becomes less about this idea of just vaulting over obstacles and jumping off of stuff. It becomes more about finding your own current limitations, whether they're physical or mental. And then through practice, learning the progressional steps to break through them. Then as you go even deeper in the sport, it becomes about creativity, your ability to creatively challenge yourself and find new limitations and then break through those. And so I ask you, if through progressional steps, persistence, and practice, you learned that you were capable of anything, what would you achieve? And I was lucky enough to have the sport of parkour teach me that pretty early on in my life. So here's a long list of things that I've achieved. I'll blast through them because we don't have too much time. But I currently have over 2.3 million followers online. I've hosted 2 world tours in over 15 different countries, which we created 55 events, bringing communities of all ages together. I became the world's first professional parkour athlete with his own pro signature model shoe. I turned that into a career in Hollywood, where I now have over 115 major motion picture credits, including TV shows. Some of you might have seen me on a Ninja Warrior, where I became the fastest qualifier in Los Angeles, won a little bit of money, and got to Vegas a bunch of times. We'll go through some more of this. I have nearly 1 billion views on my online videos. I actually just did an additional 18 million views and gained another 70,000 followers on Facebook alone last month. So things are still happening. It's fun. Through all this, I've learned that I have this eye for things, an eye for opportunity. And I don't know if it came from the sport teaching me how to look at the world in a different way, or if it was just the way I was brought up. But I learned that there's opportunity everywhere we look. And even in the sport of parkour early on, there were tutorials, but they were like slow motion clips of someone like doing a vault like 3 different ways. And I was like, wow, this is like not teaching anyone anything. Why don't I jump on board and redefine it? And so even through early tutorials, I was able to gain 350,000 followers on YouTube, another 30 million views where I helped teach parkour to people online all around the world. And then TikTok, you guys know TikTok in the back? Yeah, sure you do. I don't know if any of you knew it before it was TikTok. It used to be called Musical.ly. Yeah. So Musical.ly was an interesting app because it was really just a bunch of lip singing and dancing moves. But I saw it as much more than that. I saw it as an opportunity to get involved and build an audience. People were starting to gain millions of followers on this almost unknown app. And so again, an opportunity, I jumped on it. Everybody laughed at me at my age because they're like, you're too old to be on that. I'm like, you watch. I set a goal of hitting 1 million followers. I got my Musical.ly crown back in the day, and I now have 1.7 million followers on what they call TikTok. TikTok loved me on the app. They actually started paying me tens of thousands of dollars to bring on new athletes Again, enough about me, but this idea of seeing opportunity, right? When I got to Wilmington just 2 years ago, I realized that there's nowhere to do parkour here. There's no real gym. I have a 6-year-old son. He wanted to get involved. So I brought him to the gymnastics gym. They had a ninja class. It was great. It was waitlisted to get in. So we were like, wow, there's a demand here. That's cool. He finally gets in, and it's mostly him sitting down, waiting his turn to do a mediocre obstacle course. And so watching all these parents that are frustrated, I know what I'm capable of. I have now parents starting to figure out who I am and what I do, and they keep asking me, where can I learn this? Is there a place for it? Are you ever going to teach it? I'm also an actor, so I work with a lot of actors who want to learn how to do stunts and get involved. And so we learned that there's nothing here. Back in California, I am a part of a company called Tempest Freerunning. I helped design these gym spaces as well as the curriculum for them. Because of my popularity, I became a face of this company, but I never owned my own gym. And so as time went on and we looked around, we realized that Wilmington is the perfect opportunity to host a gym here. My wife actually helped manage one of these Tempest gyms. And one day she came to me and she said, what are we doing? Why aren't we opening this, right? And so I looked back at her and I said, I don't know, let's dive in. And so we started to find out all these amazing things about Wilmington and just how good a gym space could perform here. Just in the Wilmington area alone, there's about 40,000 kids. If you extend that by 30 minutes, it goes to about 70,000 kids. So we know there's a high demand based on, one, my son and all the kids he plays with. I keep seeing it everywhere I go. The closest direct competitor is 300 miles away in Greensville, South Carolina. They are a flourishing gym called Motive. But we're not driving 4 hours to go play for an hour.
It's 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5. Okay. Thank you.
I grew up there.
Perfect. And then, of course, Wilmington, strong family and film community. So much of what we do in parkour and what I do is tied to film. And I know I have relationships with local stunt coordinators. And we already know that there's a space outside of just teaching the curriculum to the youth, but also the extended curriculum for teaching movement and sports. Everyone else who's here. So I don't think this is just a gym. It's where people will discover what they are truly capable of and bring the community together. So thank you.
So first of all, thanks a lot, Jesse, for sharing your story and what Tempest Gym's got free run-ins coming up with. So we're going to open it up for 20 minutes of Q&A. So anyone who wants to get their hands up, ask us a question.
So you talked about 40,000 kids, sort of.
That's 4 to 18.
4 to 18. So what about the kids who are 50 to above?
Yeah.
You talk about
really true.
overcoming
Can't wait to see you jump off a building.
or breaking through limitations. Obviously, that extends beyond 18.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So what within this sort of framework model would allow you to sort of capture that market as well?
Well, there are adult classes, and those adult classes do go until any age. Obviously, it's funny because this keeps coming up, but there's, I don't know if you guys know Ginny. She's the American Ninja Warrior. Her daughter is Jessie Graff in the ninja space. She lives, I think, in Oak Island or down. I just did a private lesson with her. Her daughter paid me just to go down and train with her, and she's 72, and this woman is incredible. Like it like changed my mind, even the state I'm in, and went like, oh, that's possible at 70. She's swinging from bars, like balancing. And so there are some amazing older like classes that they do in places like London. They have a whole elder class that just goes out. And it's funny because we think about that. It's like, oh, I want to see this 60-year-old guy jump off a building. It's not really about that, right? It is about what am I currently capable of and what can I do to get past that, right? I talk about that. Parkour also has this image of it being dangerous, and the idea of insurance comes up a lot. Oh, but how much is the insurance to open up at a gym? The insurance is only $15,000 for this space, and it's actually lower than most gymnastic gyms because statistically, gymnastics has a lot more injuries because kids see soft pads and they think I could do anything I want. In most of our gym spaces, our spring floors are soft. But a lot of it is these hard structures. And so you're not going to just huck things you aren't ready for. You're going to learn how to do it properly so that you don't hurt yourself.
Suggestion and then a question.
Yeah.
So are you familiar with iFly?
Mhm.
Do you know the concept that they have where they do like a STEM education, working with schools and things like that before they open?
No, I don't know.
That might be a way to kind of introduce the schools, private, public, charter schools like that. I think typically they open at like 10 o'clock in the morning and they'll do like an hour worth of STEM education. It might be a good way to introduce the community to your program by partnering with the schools to bring them in, because
Yeah.
I mean, you know how kids are.
Oh,
And then God, what was the question I had? Do you know what the location you're gonna be at is?
location is one of the challenges so far. We need at least 20-foot high ceilings, 24 is ideal. There's been a few spaces that have opened up since we have been actively looking. And we're just being kind of particular about where we want to be. So we're not rushing into it. But is a very specific challenge in which we're kind of navigating, because if you look even like the back of this structure, we get to use vertical square footage. So here, these spaces are about 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 square feet. I want to do like a 4,000 square foot, 5,000 square foot, maybe max. It's a smaller community here, but also I'd rather have the problem of packing out our classes. I think altogether there's 581 class spots based on the current layout of our schedule.
You know John Gilbert,
I don't think so.
stuntman here in town.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's go purple shirt.
I just want to say I have kids and they're feral. They're always getting yelled at to get out of trees and get off the top of the shopping cart corrals. It's really kind of, people know them for this.
Yeah.
So this is like right up our alley. And like, can they come now? Can they just come? Can people yell at you for a while? But the other thing is I just wonder, what's your record on the Longleaf Park Ninja course? What's your time?
I don't know, I've never tested, but no, to your point, I think the kids are like that, right? And that's, parents are like, well, now my kid's gonna be jumping off roofs. No, they're gonna jump off roofs anyway. You might as well teach them how to do it properly.
Playground at Wrightsville Beach Park when they redid it, I forgot how many millions of dollars it was, and they were still on the roof of the gazebo, and then they were back on the bulkhead of the thing, so.
Yeah, and I think there's something to be said about that, like, the old school mentality about letting kids do dangerous things in a controlled manner, and that's what these gyms really allow. The flip and flies, trampoline parks, there's no real instruction. It's not really a community. And so what I'm excited, actually, one of the things I'm most excited about in building this space is that even like the gymnastic gyms, you go to the second floor and it's like a metal chair you have to sit on and everyone's uncomfortable and they're like, just want to get out of there. I want to make sure we create a space that people want to hang and connect and be there even when they're not in class. I'm gonna go right here, actually.
So parkour is so much about the outdoors. Will your gym also include outdoor spaces?
I mean, that would be lovely. There are tons of gyms that do that, but most of them are in like Amsterdam. The outdoor thing, it's interesting, right? It is a street sport. That's how I got into it before there was even parkour gyms anywhere in the world. And when you look at our structures, a lot of them are built to be, and even the one I want to build here, I want it to feel more like our Texas gym that has these. If you go to this back section, it's all painted by set decorators and it looks like a rooftop. And so it has that feeling of it. That said, when we host events or big gatherings, our openings usually bring in like 800 people. It gets gnarly, it's wild. Fire code thing, we'll talk about that another time. But we also do outdoor things. So if we did a weekend where there's a big competition or something, there's also going to be what we call a jam, where we go out in the community, probably downtown, or find a spot that has a place where we can get away with having 50 kids jumping off a thing. I'm going to go to the back here. So the suit, I forget your name.
I have a son who's a second degree black belt Taekwondo, and he's interested in kind of creative forms and so I'm wondering, have you done anything that integrates kind of martial arts or supported kids in martial arts and help them thrive? Just that sort of.
Yeah, so early on in developing the curriculum, one of the things we did was we took the martial arts system, instead of doing belts, we actually do like bracelets, those rubber bands. And so what that allowed us to do is break down movement in progressional states and embed them into how we teach. And so someone who gets involved, they now have not only the slower way to get there and a way for us to break classes up, but it also gives them a sense of where they get to go if they continue to progress. Like the black belt system kind of gives you, I want to be black, right? And so we have I think it's called like the Goldfish Gangster Band. It's quite fun. So to your point, yeah, so much of it is about that controlling your body. But the cool part about parkour is there's another word that we use, which is free running, which used to be separated. Most of the time now you just say parkour, it means all of it. But free running was the self-expression through movement. Instead of just the efficiency, it's about how you creatively interact with obstacles that are in your path. And so that's where that sort of real thing happens. And then also when we do our open gyms, that's where you watch these kids connect and work together, and someone will do something and the other one's like, oh, I love that. And then they start working on this like kind of problem together. And it gets really cool. Creativity is probably my favorite part of the sport. You, Henry, how fast?
So first off, I'm stoked for this idea as a father with 3 kids, one on the way. And so, but I'm curious, like, what's the like business model of this? Is this a flip and fly, pay by the hour, or is this more like do a dance, like a dance course thing? As I have one daughter that is aggressively climbing on everything possible in my shop and swinging like off monkey bars all day long and floor of lava everywhere.
Yes,
possibly be. So like, as a parent that's investing, is this we pay by the hour kind of a thing? Is this a class? Like if we were to sign them up for dance?
Yeah.
And then is this more of the physical skill set, but then also mental barrier challenge thing like karate that is beneficial for them in the long run? Or is it like, what's the purpose?
Yeah, I'll answer that in 2 ways. I'll talk about the curriculum breakdown and what we do there. And then I'll actually talk about my financial model that I built out for the company. For you as a parent who's buying into this system, there's a drop-in. So you can just do like a test where you drop them in, see if they're into it, if it's something you're into. And then there's a membership. That membership could include the open gym, unlimited open gym. So you can bring them for 2 hours every other day. But it also is using that band system as a long-term thing. So if you wanted, they start progressing immediately. They get their first band, and then I forget how many weeks go by before they can do a testing to see if they're ready to move to the next band. Once they have all their skills, they continue to grow, then we continue to place them into higher skill sets, and so that they're never stuck waiting and doing the same thing, or you're like, they already know how to do a Kong over this vault. She does it perfect. Which is interesting about the sport, because it's, I could take anyone in the room and teach them like 7 vaults real quick. But something I've learned through parkour is I believe the real separation between an amateur and a pro is efficiency. And so if you watch myself or one of the other pros in the sport do a big vault over the block, my knee is probably like a millimeter away from this ledge because I'm using every bit of momentum to travel past it and go further. And so like a beginner can do the Kong, but they won't be able to do it as well as I can. So we use that ability in testing, and now they have to Kong and land on an obstacle. And so there's all these challenges that kind of continue to develop those fundamentals. We don't call them basics because they really are just fundamentals to build upon. In terms of my financial model, where I'm very lucky is that Tempest Free Running as a company is a group of dudes who really just hang out and got together and made a company. I was there early on, but not in the founding group. And so I've been a part of this thing, but I don't own any of it. I have a 2% stake of the major company, and I invested in the Texas gym, but I don't own my own gym. But what's cool is this isn't a franchise model. It's just a bunch of guys. And so what we do is a licensing. That licensing fee, which I think we're talking maybe 7% based on whatever I include, helps me in a lot of ways, because now I'm not paying for my own insurance out of the gate. We're actually adding a gym onto the insurance. And so it's a better cost breakdown for everyone. That same thing goes with like the way we do our waivers and the app that they use for that. what was even better is that I have access to 10+ years of profit and loss statements. So I took all of those numbers, looked at all the different things like merch is the class, utilization, and everything I possibly could. And I built out a spreadsheet where I put all those numbers down and started to adjust them. The Wilmington numbers, what the overhead cost here, the square footage cost here, how many students I think I can get. If the utilization is starting really slow in the first few months, and playing with numbers and watching it jump around. Thank God for ChatGPT to teach me how to program my spreadsheet. But it's been amazing, and I feel really confident now that I have those numbers to approach investors, because I've really fleshed it all out, and I feel like you can challenge me on anything and I'll be able to show you exactly how it's going to play out, what we need to make this happen.
Yeah. You talked about the dropping your kid off, or looking at the ninja courses and stuff like that. And you've also mentioned drop your kid off here and open gym classes. What are you planning to do to make yourself different so that a parent doesn't say, oh my God, I'm paying $300 a month and my kid's going and sitting for 45 minutes out of the hour session?
Yeah, I mean, even the curriculum, just knowing what our curriculum is and how it's taught, that alone destroys anything that's even remotely close to Wilmington standard of ninja class. The drop your kid off, that's an open gym. So that could be more compared to a flip and fly, except for now with obstacles, and there's like flip and fly is, if you look at it, it's a trampoline times 50. You know, it's just like a bunch of trampolines, and so where are the real challenges? What can the kids do to like challenge themselves besides trying a flip? Which again, there's no instruction, with no one who knows how to teach it there. Our gym, even our open gyms, have our instructors, which has been really exciting. So I launched an Instagram for a gym that I don't have yet. We've already got 150 followers, and what's been cool is I'm getting all of a sudden the signal's already out. So I'm getting these people I didn't know did parkour here or did like tricking and martial arts stuff. And so all of a sudden I'm getting these messages. I'm finding employees before we even have the space. I'm like, oh, are you interested in teaching? And that's been amazing to see the very early onset of like people looking to like, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this. So I have no doubt that we'll be able to find the people to help run it as well.
So we have time for about 3 more questions, but we've seen a couple hands
Back,
with
yeah.
our RG crew.
Yeah,
in
let's
the
go back. Let's go in the back. Go blue shirt.
What is your favorite part of your job?
Favorite part of my job?
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's job. So I talked about doing the parkour thing, which led me to stunt doubling. I stunt doubled Nightcrawler in the last 2 X-Men films, but I've doubled a lot of different actors. And that whole time I was also acting. I acted in New York City. I took classes in LA. When you're stunt double, you're expendable. It's kind of weird. It's a weird energy. Like, it's like, okay, if you get hurt, that's your job. But recently, there's a TV show called Agatha. It was on Disney or something, and I'm doubling a character, and it's 4 a.m. I'm literally like running down this alley. Camera is behind me. I don't know, camera's somewhere. And I'm running down this alley, and the idea is at some point I look backwards and a car pulls out and hits me, and I have to go flying over the windshield and land on the ground, which the actor had already shot his close up. So I have to land a very specific way after being hit by a car. It's my 4th time doing it. It's 4 a.m. My child at this point, we had a house in the mountains. He's 3 hours away. I think he was 4 at the time. And I'm just like, what am I doing? So I started thinking, like, why aren't I just the guy that gets to lay there and like, you know, more to acting than that. But I started questioning it, and then I just made the decision again, like everything I've kind of done in my life, and using this parkour mentality, I was like, if I want to act, why don't I just do that instead of being the guy getting hit by the car? And so there was a moment I filmed a TikTok. It doesn't have any views because it was a terrible video. It's more of a documentation for myself. I said, I got this big smile, pulled over, and I had this realization that I decided to be the actor, not the stunt guy anymore. I'll still do stunts. I love it. It's definitely a great paycheck. And acting is definitely hard. But I had this like joy overcome me because I realized within that idea of making the decision to be an actor, it's done. It's happened. And so like, I just like filmed this video of me like stoked, and And then since then, I think it's been about 2.5, 3 years. Big things are happening for me. Major agent, I just got done last week. If any of you guys watch Law and Order SVU, I just booked a top of show guest star as an actor where they had a stunt double for me. That'll be out, I think, next month, 24th maybe. But I love my job. But even within doing the Law and Order thing, which is why I come back to it, is there was like a little fight scene and the guy gets kind of thrown. And so still like it's a fighting match or whatever. And they had the double keep doing it and they would not throw me. I was like, no, I can do it. They're like, no. It was very interesting to not be to be someone that they don't care about getting hurt and being someone like, no, you can't get hurt. And it was like, I don't know, it just gave me this weird feeling of like, man, poor stunt guys. But I don't know, my favorite part of the job is just getting to have fun and get paid for it.
Time for one more.
Yeah, let's go here.
Once you do secure a location, what do you think the turnaround time looks like to actually opening the gym?
Yeah, build out is typically about 2 months. We are looking, it's like 2 to 3 months, depending on permitting and if there's anything weird that has to change. But the actual build out is a big build out. It's what we're doing with the 4,000, 5,000 square foot space. I've estimated to be about a $200,000 build out. Some of these big ones are way more than that. But we've learned a lot through these things, simple things like don't do a 7-inch bevel, because then now your boards that you're cutting, you have to recut all these different things. And so there's been a lot learned from everything we've done, which is another reason why I'm like, why aren't we doing this? We know all these things. My wife can manage. I have the skills to do it, the passion to run it. And yeah, so I'd say once we secure it, probably 3 months, we're openings.
All right, we're gonna do one more extra last
Yeah.
question.
On the back.
Feelings changed about your job since you like started it to now?
I don't know. I don't even know. I don't think it has, to be honest with you. I think even like the early days of action sports, I just wanted to make money doing the things I love to do. I think too often people tell us we should separate those things. And I think it's wrong. I think if you're passionate, that passion is the fuel to achieve whatever you desire, as long as you're willing to like put in the work and make it happen. So even to this day, I might have pivoted from stunts, but it's always been about filming and movement and acting and connecting and playing and pretending. And that's what connects the parkour. That's what connects the stunts. And that's what continues to connect the acting. Thank you, guys. Yeah.
So one thing that we do with 1 million cups at the end of the presenter is that with this awesome community, how can the community help you? What are you looking to, how can the 1 million cups in Wilmington community?
Yeah, I mean,
Other than the easy.
the easy one is funding, but it really, anything, I mean, if anyone has any connections, I think just staying involved. Let's go to this. You want to? Yeah, stay connected.
Yeah.
Here's my email, take a picture. This is my personal, this is the Academy website, Instagram. But feel free to stay connected, see what I'm doing and know that it's happening regardless of whatever happens. It will happen.
All right.
That's who I am.
Jesse, so what is the amount of money you're trying to?
So the actual raise is, we're raising 500,000, but I'm giving 45% away. And the reason I'm doing such a high number is because I'm investing just my own value into it. And so there's my wife and I, my wife will manage, I'll run. That also is we'll be paying ourselves. And so I know out of the gate what I'm giving back is a ton, but it's because I'm hoping that whoever works with me trusts and sees that what I can do is make it work. So yeah, no problem.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks again. We can open it up real quick for any community announcements. Anyone have any community announcements that you know? Yes, sir.
Everybody, John Collins here with the Wilmington Chamber of Commerce. On April 17th, we have Work on Wilmington. It's the largest single day of volunteer opportunity in Wilmington. It's on a Saturday from 8 to noon. So if you are interested in volunteering to be part of Work on Wilmington, you can go to the Wilmington Chamber website and search for that, and it'll come up. We're looking for volunteers.
When is that?
April 17th, Saturday.
Hello, I'm Gloria Monroe from the SBTC, and I have a couple of announcements. One is the USDA Forest Service is going to have an industry day in Havelock to help with reconstruction from, believe it or not, Hurricane Helene. Still, there's a lot of construction to go be done there. If you know anybody that does anything from trucking to hauling to engineering, they need all types of skills. It's government contracting. They're going to have the government team there to actually get the businesses ready for contracting with them. It's one day in Havelock. If you're interested, let me know and I'll show you how to register and give you the registration link for it. The other thing is on May 6th, there's going to be a small business day that is statewide for North Carolina in Durham. We're going to have a panel of businesses across the state talking about what it means to have a healthy business. So anyone interested in that can see me as well. I'll be happy to share details.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Heather McCorder. I'm the director of CIE. Welcome if it's your first time here. I just wanted to make one announcement about an upcoming event, April 7th through 9th, 3 evenings in a row. We have an innovation sprint coming up. Don't know what that is. We have some local officials coming in to talk about problems in our community that entrepreneurs can solve. They're called reverse pitches. And we'll form teams and we'll go through an innovation activity 3 nights in a row, and we'll have dinner together. It's a ton of fun. They will have an environmental theme. So it might be the landfill, might be flooding, you know, things like that we've worked on in the past. But again, it's fast paced. It's a lot of fun. I hope you sign up and we'll see you there.
Want to remind everyone, get your feast tickets this weekend if you enjoy food, and who doesn't. And then also our Wilma Dash is coming up May 7th. We still have booths available. It's also a health fest. So if anybody's interested in that, come see me.
And finally, someone left a black jacket last week. That's a Sonoma. It goes to lost and found in 2 months if no one retrieves it. So, but
How big is it?
so, 42 It's an Excel. So anyway, no judge. Well, no, that's our time, y'all. Thanks again for coming out. We actually have another event coming in this room at 10, so you can continue networking and shaking hands just outside this room in the lobby.
Great job, Andy, for talking to me.